Assassin's Creed Unity is a game with a twist. It's set in our own past, with characters you'd probably expect to see in illustrations from our history books. Grant went to Paris to check out real-life locations as seen in the game.
Assassin's Creed is one of the biggest video game franchises of all time. And this year's version, Assassin's Creed Unity, is set in Paris. Behind me is the Notre Dame, one of the biggest technological marvels of its time, and is one of the biggest set pieces in the game. So I'm going to explore the city a little bit and introduce you to Assassin's Creed Unity. Foregoing the tradition of science fiction shooters set on Mars or Greek gods dueling to epic orchestral strings, Ubisoft chose to use their high school history textbooks as inspiration. Assassin's Creed Unity is the latest installment in the Assassin's Creed franchise and is set against the backdrop of the French Revolution. Assassin's Creed as a series has introduced us to many historical figures in the past, including a young Leonardo da Vinci and even Blackbeard. Assassin's Creed Unity hopes to continue in this tradition. Keeping it authentic has been the developers' primary goal. The team is predominantly French, and that means the game is as close to history as possible.
So in Assassin's Creed Unity, our goal was to make the game fun at first. And then to do that, you have to understand the whole time period, the whole historic period, and we tried to make it something that's very believable of the 18th century Paris. So we tried to go as historically as possible while maintaining the fun. So we did take some liberties into some of the aspects that you have in the game. So you'll have a lot of details that people will never notice that are very, very historic. It's it's buff stuff, right? You'll find it in books and magazines, but very specialized details. But overall, the game is pretty close to, I think, what should be Paris like in the 18th century. So when you play the game, actually the goal is really to play Arnaud's quest. So it's really his quest for redemption, his quest with the Assassins and Templars. The French Revolution is the backdrop, but we try to make it as understandable for anyone as possible. So hopefully, I really would like for professors in history in classes to play the game and enjoy it. But our goal is really to have anyone who can play this game to understand the French Revolution also and enjoy the game and have fun.
Ditching the traditional Assassin's Creed arena-based multiplayer, they've opted for a 4-player co-op mission-focused multiplayer.
So we made a lot of changes to multiplayer. First of all, the traditional multiplayer that people have been used to in Assassin's Creed is no longer there. We opted instead for a co-op experience. We call it a co-op shared experience. The thinking behind this is the fact that we felt that what players wanted, and this is what we as developers also wanted for a long time, was to actually be able to reproduce the core Assassin's Creed experience, but be able to share it with up to 3 other friends. So a total of 4 players co-op. We've implemented a lot of technology that nobody's ever seen before in an Assassin's Creed game. First of all, the graphics engine has been completely redone. We now use a physically based lighting system, which means we actually calculate photonic impacts, which translates to a lot of realism, okay? Our lighting is amazing. Like the detail that we can get with the lighting is just fabulous. The shaders, so what we use to create our surface, our materials, is different. Again, physically based, so they look much more realistic. Our skin looks more realistic, stone, metal looks more realistic. And then we've implemented a brand new crowd technology that allows us to crank it up to over 5,000. We actually even have one scene that has 10,000 people in it. And all of these AI are interactive, right? So you can actually throw a smoke bomb in there or a firecracker and see them react. And the idea behind this is the fact that we have 2 systems that are cooperating. One that we call the bulk crowd. The bulk crowd is actually acting a lot like a fluid. It's a mathematical model that actually simulates how crowds behave at a large scale, macro level. And then we're spawning real, complete AIs in and out of that bulk crowd seamlessly without you even realizing.
I loved Warcraft 2 in high school, and it pushed me to take out books from the library about knights, the Crusades, and the Dark Ages. Assassin's Creed, although set in a fictional version of history, could help you learn a little history and get excited about it.